Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day in honor of this auspicious day is eclipse. So, I have certainly been experiencing the impact of this eclipse for the last few days, and it's been affecting my dreams. They've been like off the charts intense and technicolor and just wild. And I normally have fairly interesting, imaginative, wild dreams, but they've been really wild. And I've also been experiencing more energy, more alertness, just feeling really like, as well as I've been experiencing like wave upon wave of hot flash, which I also know a number of other women I've spoken to have too. Now, part of that is that I am of a certain age, but part of it, I believe, is that there is so much energy that is just flowing across the planet. Like there are these waves of energy that are happening right now. And for those of us who are highly sensitive and empathic, and particularly those of us who are in this particular hormonal state, it's kind of like these power surges just run through us and we feel them and they manifest as these hot flashes. Now, I was talking earlier today with some friends about how these eclipses has been affecting them. And one friend was telling me how antsy they were feeling, that they were feeling like they just wanted to crawl out of their skin, like nothing is quite working in their life, and they just wanted to like hit the reset button and just throw everything on the scrap heap and start everything all over again. Fortunately, there's somebody who's been on a spiritual path for quite a while, and they understand that sometimes we feel uncomfortable and that sometimes we have these moments where we just want to like just run away from all of it, but that doing something really rash is not a good idea, especially during times like this, and that the best thing that they can do is wait it out and just let the storm pass, that this too shall pass, and that they're going to be getting to the other side of it and they will be okay. Now, another friend I was speaking to, who's also highly sensitive empathic, was really feeling overwhelmed by the emotions that are being stirred up by the eclipse. And in particular, they were feeling it because they were surrounded by a lot of other people, some of whom are not that emotionally conscious. So not only were they feeling their own feelings and feeling the intensity of the eclipse, but then they were also dealing with the fact that there were people around them who are being impacted by the intensity of the eclipse, feeling very uncomfortable with it, but not emotionally intelligent enough or aware enough to recognize that it was impacting them. So instead of taking responsibility for their discomfort, they were just acting pissy and cranky and difficult and being very, very negative. So this friend of mine had just hit their wall. They had totally reached overwhelm, and they just did the best thing they could have done, which was go take a breather, go take a time out, go run a little bit of an errand, and just step away from the intensity of all of it and step away from the drama of people who are not conscious of what they are doing and how they are affecting absolutely everybody else as well. And fortunately, in both of these people's cases, they understood that they were uncomfortable, and they also understood that they got to decide what they were going to do about it. And this is the thing that I've been really thinking about with this solar eclipse, and in general, with any kind of seasonal event, with any kind of thing where something is happening and we cannot opt out of it. Because the truth is that whether we like it or not, the solar eclipse was impacting our planet. And there's no just deciding we're not going to feel it. There's no deciding that we're not going to be affected by it. It's affecting every single living thing on this planet. And as a result, it's happening. So the way I look at it is that we don't get to choose whether or not we get on this bus, but what we do get to choose is where we sit on the bus and how we're going to relate to it and what we're going to do about it. Now, I had a friend a long time ago who used to basically say that either you do the season or the season is going to do you, but that no matter how you slice it, it's going to demand that it is attended to. And in the case of this eclipse, you either do the eclipse or the eclipse is going to do you. So I want to talk a little bit about how we can be more deliberate in working with this, because even though we've crossed over the sort of the peak of it, we've hit the pinnacle of it, we're still going to be in the window of the intensity for at least, for about another 24 hours. The way I look at it is that there's sort of like this 30-hour window on either side of any kind of celestial event where we're especially impacted. So we have the event smack dab in the middle, and then kind of either side of it, sort of 30 hours out on either side, is kind of the big sort of portal of it in the intensity. And then further beyond that, you're going to have the build up coming towards it, and then you're going to have the wind down going in the other way. So it's not like, in 24 hours or 30 hours after the height of the eclipse, it's all going to be over. It's going to still dissipate. But this is that window of opportunity when we can really work with it and use it to our advantage. And the way I see it, that we can really decide, do we want to be at the back of the bus just getting yanked around and feeling exhausted and overwhelmed by the end of it? Or do we want to be at the front of the bus where we start to steer it and where we start to make decisions about what we want to do with it? And as we're looking out that front window and seeing what's coming at us, what do we want to know about it? How can we use that information to our advantage? So let me talk a little bit about what I think we can do using this energy of the solar eclipse to our advantage. So from a very mechanical standpoint, the solar eclipse is when the sun is in one place, the earth is in another place, and then what happens, so let's make the Blessed Mother be the earth. And then what happens is that the moon goes between the sun and the earth. And the moon is positioned in this perfect way that basically blocks the light of the sun for a period of time and basically overshadows the sun. So if you want to think about the sort of the metaphoric meaning of this, the sun, when it comes to astrology, represents our sense of identity, who we are in the world, how we are presenting ourselves, how we want to live our life, what we are. It's like the core of our personality is the sun. So for example, it's our sun sign. Now in my case, I was born on December 25th, Christmas Day, and that makes me a Capricorn. So my solar identity is connected to that particular sort of pragmatic, practical, tells it like it is, swears like a sailor. Not all Capricorns do, but I certainly do. But the sun is about sort of your core primary identity. Now, the moon is our inner workings. It's our emotions. It's our subconscious. And it's more about our beliefs, our ideas, what's making us tick. And then the earth is the physical form. It is literally our body and sort of our vehicle, what we are moving through in life. Now, ordinarily, our identity, our sun, our self, is shining directly on our body, and there's sort of that direct connection between self and form. But when there's this eclipse, the moon is positioning itself where our emotions are overshadowing our sense of identity, our sense of self. So if there is something that is out of alignment, if there is something that is unconscious, it is going to impact us much more deeply than usual. But the thing that is awesome about this is that it also gives us a chance to look at the way that the moon, our emotions, are impacting us in the way we are living our life, in the way that we are expressing ourselves, in the way that we are standing up for what matters to us, in the way that we are identifying our personality and just who we perceive ourselves as being, as well as how are our emotions affecting our physical form and our physical body. So we can take advantage of this time right now to really be asking ourselves some questions about how are my emotions overshadowing my identity? How are my emotions affecting my way of moving through this world? How are my emotions and my subconscious beliefs and my triggers impacting my body and my ability to go out into this world and do the work that I need to be doing? So this is an opportunity to really take some time to look at what is really making you tick. Particularly, how is your emotional body, your emotional sense of self, your unconscious triggers, your unconscious thoughts and beliefs, your old sort of family of origin, ancestral contracts and agreements, how is all of this affecting both your body and your personality? And how do you want to do things differently? What is it time to clear right now? What is ripe for the picking and ready to be forgiven and released and shifted and changed? And what do you want to, how do you want to live differently? Who do you want to be instead? What would work better for you right now? So, lots and lots and lots of stuff to work with this powerful window of time with this eclipse. So I would love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Please leave a comment below. And until next word of the day, I am wishing you peace, I am wishing you ease, and I am wishing you the grace of this eclipse to do your work. So, in the meantime, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jennifer Moore, Modern Medicine Lady, and also, I will be eternally grateful for your help to get this video out into the world. Please like it, please share it, and please pass it along to other people who would find it useful. Thank you so much, and until tomorrow, peace.